pure consciousness. Okay, so you have 5 layers that cover up your true nature. You can think of like a Russian doll, Russian dolls. You know how you take one out and then there's another one, and another one, another one. It's the same thing. Okay, so the sheaths or the coverings are kind of like those Russian dolls that cover up your true nature, your essence, which, according to the Yoga Sutras, is pure consciousness. We'll talk more about that this afternoon. But so, essentially, I think everyone is pretty familiar with your first layer, just your body, your physical, matter, what we typically think of as matter in the body. It's called the Annamaya Kosha, okay? And I'll explain Maya, why these all end in the word Maya in just a minute. So the idea is that through yogic practice, we move through the different layers of our being. It's like an onion that you peel, and you get deeper and deeper and deeper until you get to the core of that onion, okay? Which again is pure consciousness. So the idea of yoga, the whole reason people do yoga, or the original intent of why people did yoga was to achieve samadhi, enlightenment, pure consciousness, merge with the divine, however you want to say that, okay? And the way they did that is through a scientific process known as yoga. And it's a science. And if you do it properly, you can move through the different layers of your being as you move to more and more subtle layers until you reach your true essence. It's really simple. You don't have to have any kind of belief system. You can believe whatever you want to believe. You can be a Christian, a Muslim, a Jew, a Buddhist, a Jain, whatever. It does not matter, because this is science. This is different. Okay? Yoga is science. It's a scientific approach to reaching the divine, or reaching pure consciousness, enlightenment, God, however you want to call that. And the way this works is we start with asana. We start with asana, and that is our physical level. And in order for us to transcend that physical level, we need to settle everything in the body. We need to stretch out. We need to get loose. We need to get everything aligned, get the nervous system relaxed. Okay? So we use asana. That's why you start with asana. Okay? Once you've transcended your physical layer, the Annamaya Kosha, you come to the chakras, the energy body, the energetic body, the subtle body, which is made up of 7 chakras. Okay? This is the part of you that feels energy. When you walk into a room, and like when I walked in here today, I was blown away by how mellow everybody was, and just like how down the energy was. And I'd been like, fighting traffic, and my back's hurting, and I'm like, wow, yeah, I got lost, what an idiot, And, and I was kind of like in a tizzy, and then I get here, and I walked in the door, and immediately I'm like super chill. That's, the part of me that is feeling that, or is sensing that, is my energetic body. When you walk into a room and it just feels dense, just feels really bad, it just has like a negative vibe, that's your subtle body that's feeling that, sensing that, okay? It's not your body, it's not your mind. It can't be, it's your subtle body. This is where we experience emotions, energies, okay? And again, you have these 7 chakras, which are transmitter-receivers of different vibratory frequencies of different energies that kind of exist on a spectrum of frequency. And I'll talk about that in just a minute. So in order to transcend this energy body, or to at least get it chilled out and balanced, because we have sun energy and we have moon energy. We have, yin energy and yang energy. Okay? And so in order to balance these energetic flows in the body and create an energetic condition or environment more conducive to higher states of consciousness, we use pranayama. So you start with asana, you move from the physical layer to the energetic layer. You use pranayama, okay, to balance those energies. And the 3 pranayamas that I chose for this teacher training were chosen for a reason because, not I chose, we all agreed on them, because of the energetic effect. Because of what I know to be true about how to move from each layer to the next. The breath of fire cleanses you. Gets all the junk out, right? The alternate nostril breathing balances the Ida and Pingala channels of energy, the sun and moon energy that exist along the spinal pathway in the chakra system, okay? So you're balancing the hemispheres of the body, the brain, and the chakra system, okay? And then the Sushumna breath, you're taking prana and bringing it up the central channel, the Sushumna channel, okay, bringing it up and down that central channel, that central highway in the chakral system, and purifying it, okay, and cleansing it over and over and over again, 12 times, which is just kind of an auspicious number, and then you're ready for meditation, okay? Well, actually, then you're ready for breath awareness and mantra. Because we moved past the physical body, we moved past the energetic body, now we're ready for the next sheath, which is the mental body, the mana maya kosha. Mana means mind in Sanskrit. So now we're ready to get past the mental layer. The mental layer is your thoughts, thought forms. Okay? Now, thoughts can be a pretty big distraction or obstacle when you're trying to meditate or you're trying to get to different states of consciousness or awareness, and they tend to get in the way. So how do we chill that out? How do we bring that down? We use mantra and breath awareness. That's why when you meditate, you're starting with breath awareness. Okay, you're just starting to chill out the mental noise with the breath awareness. Then you take it even deeper, you add a mantra to it. And that particular mantra that you were given, Soham, has a particular energetic effect to it. The energetic effect is that it relaxes you, and it relaxes the nervous system. That's why you were given that particular mantra. There are other mantras that have different energetic effects, more energizing or more focused, more concentrated. But Soham is a great beginner mantra, and it's really nice just to relax the system and to chill this out, okay? So we've moved from the physical to the energetic, okay, breath awareness and mantra, to the mental. The next layer we come to is the Vijnanamaya Kosha, which is your ego. And not the ego that says, I'm better than everyone. Not that ego. Okay, that's being egotistical. Okay, I'm talking about egoism, which is different than egotism. Egoism is this idea that I am Azut. I am Chris. I am Joel. I am Sandy. That's the ego.
How do you say that? Egoism?
Right. Egotism is arrogance. Egoism is this idea that I am my personality self, my lowercase s self. I am this composite of, this mind-body apparatus that functions in the world. I am this thing. This is what I am. And, you're learning right now, no, you're not. You're actually a lot of things. Okay? You're not just this stuff, okay? We all know we have a mind and a body, that's obvious, but sometimes the subtle body's not so obvious. This ego, this I, this personality, we just assume that's what we are. We don't really think any different. And that's kind of the last little layer that you have to break through or transcend. Stop identifying with this lowercase s self. And for that, use meditation. That's why we end, you do the breath awareness, do the mantra, and then you end with meditation. Pure meditation. No technique, just being. Pure existence being. And that takes you to a wonderful kosha called Ananda. Ananda means bliss in Sanskrit. Anandamaya kosha. which is what you experience sometimes when you're in Shavasana. Okay, when you've gotten through all this stuff, okay, in your Shavasana, and you sit up, right when you sit up, and you have that little energetic shift that occurs right when you sit straight and the spine's erect, and you've chilled all this stuff out, and you feel just blissed out. I'm blissed out, you know? That's because you're accessing your Anandamaya Kosha because you've moved through all these other layers, okay? And then beyond that Kosha is just the infinite. Pure consciousness. Sometimes in Sanskrit they have lots of words for it. Atman, Brahma, Purusha, whatever you want to call that. It doesn't matter. It's all the same thing. But the idea being that this is infinite. This is truth. This is real. Everything else, your other 5 layers, are all Maya. Maya in Sanskrit means literally world of change or world of illusion. So that's why all the koshas end in Maya. Because in Vedanta and yogic philosophy, even in Buddhism and many traditions, the physical realm, and these are all physical, some people get confused sometimes. They think that their energetic body is their soul. It's not. You know, people think that, sometimes get confused and they think that they're very spiritual people because they have access to their energetic body and they can do healings and they can, you know, have psychic abilities and things like that. That doesn't mean you're spiritual at all. That's still physical. You're still in the physical realm. Okay, you're gifted with certain energetic gifts, but that's not your soul. You know, so the soul has no physicality to it. There is no vibration. It's beyond all of that. Okay, so the idea of yoga is that you use asana, pranayama, mantra, meditation to get you to this, samadhi. Sanskrit samadhi means oneness consciousness, okay? And we'll talk more about that when we get into the Yoga Sutras, because that's what the first few verses really deal with. So yoga and meditation allow us to transcend and access the higher levels of our being as we move through the koshas. In doing so, we begin to identify with our higher self, capital S, this, okay? And, you know, all of these are very important, okay? And that's why we do all of these. Some yoga classes, I went to a yoga class in Athens one time, and this is all we did. That's not yoga, that's asana. You know, that's literally, that was all we did, awesome. No pranayama, no meditation, no oming, no chanting, no, it was asana, that's it, you know. So, what I want you to understand is that yoga encompasses all of these things. We want to work on all 5 layers of our being. We don't just want to work on one at the exclusion of the other 4. So the idea of a holistic yoga practice is to be working on all 5 layers, purifying, balancing all 5 layers of your being, not just 1 or 2. Any questions about the koshas?
What does Maya mean again? Illusion
or world of change. All this changes all the time. It's not steady. It's always changing. This doesn't.
Right. And another way you can think of it is that pure consciousness, he was saying that all of these, from physical to bliss, is all physical. It's all defined. There's definition. Pure consciousness, there's no definition.
Right.
There's nothing. There's no thing, nothing. So you really can't define it. It's like trying to draw it, or I say draw. It's like trying to put, you know, a definition or description of God or whatever you want to think of it. So it's like as soon as you get to that, you know, bliss part, that's when you separate it, or not separate, but you divided yourself, which is kind of the process of Maya and from Brahma and all of this concept. So does it make sense?
It seems like it's a science to get back what we had as children.
So here I have, you know, the 5 koshas and pure consciousness, and just to show you how, you know, they get less and less dense. Okay, the frequency gets less and less dense as you move through the koshas. The vibration gets, you know, less and less. Okay, until you're at no vibration, pure consciousness, isness, being, pure existence. Okay, and because each layer is less and less dense, you have to spend less time working on each layer. So you're going to spend a lot of time working on asana. That's why we spend like an hour or something working on asana before we even start anything else. And that's what takes up the majority of your time, and it always will because it's the densest layer. As you get less and less dense, you have to spend less and less time, okay? And that's why, for your daily practice, when we give you all that, and we'll probably give it to you next week. I mean, right now I want you doing the pranayama, the meditation, doing some, sun salutations and stuff, but the idea is that, for your daily practice, you should be spending about half your time doing asana, maybe 20-25% pranayama, mantra, and so on, okay? So that, now this, yeah, I mean, we hope we all get there, it's like, but the idea is that, at least 15% meditation, let's say, okay? Right. Okay, oh yeah. So this, yoga was explained to me in a very cool way one time by Graham Fowler, who did our teacher training. And he drew a chart, and so I wanted to draw this for y'all. So you can understand why yoga. I mean, why do yoga? What's the point? Get limber, maybe relax a little. Well, why? Why do we do yoga? So, life without yoga and meditation and self-improvement techniques, lifestyle, all of this. Okay, not just yoga, but... So life without yoga, you're going to have your ups and your downs, your peaks and your troughs. We all do. But the general direction stays about the same. You might read some things that, help you, and you might do a few little things. You might have a general upward motion, but once you add yoga and meditation, these self-improvement, self-enrichment techniques to your life, you're still going to have ups and downs, regardless. It doesn't matter. You're still going to have ups and downs. Okay, good times and bad times. But now what you've done, because you're working on all 5 layers of your being every day, is you have taken that general direction that there wasn't really a whole lot of growth, and now you still have your ups and downs, but the general direction is up. You're growing. You're growing. Okay? That's why yoga. I mean, that's why you do these things. That's why you eat right. That's why you exercise. That's why you do asana. That's why you do pranayama, meditation, mantra, all of these things, chanting, all of it works on all 5 layers of your being. If you're just exercising, that's great. But, let's say you go to work all day, sit in an office, working on a computer all day, you get home, maybe you go for a run, or you get on the treadmill or something, and you sit down and watch TV all night. That's fine, but you're not really working on all 5 levels of your being when you do that. So your general direction is probably going to be about like that. It might even, at some point, go like that. But when you're really, truly focusing and trying to work on all 5 layers of your being all the time, the general direction of your life is going to be improvement and betterment. You're still going to have ups and downs. That, good luck getting rid of that. But I want to go into... Okay, no, I don't want to do that yet. Okay, so are there any questions about any of the koshas? Does everybody understand there's 5 layers and why we do the asana, the pranayama, the mantra, the meditation, to move through each one of those layers, to deepen our awareness of the different layers of our being, to become more in touch with our whole being, not just, yeah.
Don't you use mantra within meditation? Why is it separate?
They are separate because when you're using mantra, you're not meditating.
Right. You're doing a mantra.
You're doing something. So meditation, real, actual meditation is there's no technique.
Okay.
You're just sitting, observing it. That's it.
And if you have a thought, that's fine. You just watch it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're going to have thoughts.
Right.
No,
but you don't say a mantra to focus, to deal with it.
Right, exactly. Yeah, yes, perfect. So, right, so when you're doing breath awareness and you have a thought, you use a technique to bring your awareness back to the breath. Mm-hmm. Using mantra, you have a thought, you use your technique, bring your awareness back to the mantra and to the breath. When you're meditating, there's no technique.
Right.
So you don't do anything, you just observe.
Right.
You're not trying anything, you're just observing. You're just being the witness.
Right.
And we'll talk more about that when we start the sutras this afternoon too.
Yeah, it's those, I mean, which is why mantras before meditation, because that leads you into the meditation.
Yes. All of these lead to meditation.
The step
All
by
of
step
this
kind of-
is to
Yeah.
get you to meditation. All of it. Like the asana, pranayama, the breath awareness, the mantra. All of it is preparation for meditation. The whole thing, the whole hour and a half, however long that takes, is all preparation for that, like, 5 minutes of meditation. Seriously.
To make it the best ever.
Exactly. Yeah. Because you want to chill out all the sheaths before you can meditate. If you just try to sit down and, say you get home from work, you had a really stressful day, and, you throw a couple steaks on the grill, and drink a couple beers, and, watch some football, and then you're like, oh yeah, I need to meditate. This is not going to work. So that's why you do all of these things, specific things, to get you to the point where you can meditate. Okay, so it's a science, and it developed over. Yoga is at least 5,000 years old. All of these things have been here for 5,000 years on planet Earth, at least, probably much longer. But we won't go into that. But we know for a fact that they've been here for at least 5,000 years. In India, probably in everywhere, really. But for whatever reason, the texts in India lasted, so we have those. But this was probably global, a lot of it. But these are ancient techniques, ancient practices, 5,000 years old, tried, tested, true, science. You experiment. If it works, okay, it works. There's not a whole lot you can do to disprove any of it because it's science. It works. It's worked for 5,000 years. It still works. So that's why we do these ancient practices: asana, pranayama, mantra, meditation. In that order. There's a specific order to it. You don't start with meditation, jump into some mantra, do a little asana, pranayama, meditate a little bit more, and then no. You work your way down.
Now I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
The daily practice, I know that's like kind of like a good practice to follow, the 40, 15 minutes, 10. That's like an ideal.
Yeah.
Okay, now it can be changed, right? Like if anyone wants to do a 60-minute asana, and if they have the time, they can do that and then
Totally.
add the rest.
Oh, yeah. This is just an example. This is an example of, one way you could do it. You could do 40-minute asana, 15-minute pranayama, 10-minute mantra, or breath awareness. Combine those if you want, like a 5-minute just sitting and being the witness. And then after you get done, you can lay back down, take another shavasana if you want. You can chant after that. That's a really great time to chant, actually.